All right. So this is kind of we'll probably do like a check-in next week, but we won't do a call because it's probably like our last like virtual meeting because we've kind of gone over everything. Like you guys should have after this all the tools in your toolbox. So Morgan, it's her first time hopping on, so I sent her all the links. Tiffany was gonna hop on, but I'm not sure. She's probably still like getting off work or whatever. So we'll start. Um, so we're going to talk about inviting today, and inviting is a big, big, big thing to talk about. It's probably the scariest thing for a lot of new coaches. So at 6:15, I'm going to have Vanessa kind of take over because I have to wake Aaliyah up at the longest she can nap because she like went down really late, and it was like, oh, girlfriend, like she's going to be a party tonight. But anyway, what I like to do for my invites is we talked about last week is how I have this notebook, right? So I use my notebook for my conversations, and it's actually a divided notebook. So there's like I think it's like a 5 divider notebook. So I use one portion for my convos and one portion for my invites. It's now spilling over into the second portion for my convos. So what I like to do for invites is I literally just put the date. So Monday, May 18th, I think today is, and then I just number all the way down the line. And it's 33. That's how many are in the notebook. So each notebook is probably going to be different. If you have a smaller one, maybe it's 25, whatever. 33 is kind of an odd number, I know, but that's usually my goal every single day. But I will tell you guys, it probably sounds like a ton, but if I don't hit it, it's okay. Like today, I think I sent out maybe 25. I think Friday I maybe did 15. Like, every day isn't exactly perfect, and that's okay. 33 is my goal. I've hit 33. There was last week I think I did on my transformation post that I did last week. I think I sent like 67 invites out. So it was double that. So there's days when I send more, there's days when I send less. So just know that 33 is my goal. But I would say for new coaches, you want to be sending anywhere from 10 to 33, somewhere in that, amount. I would say 10 being your minimum, just because 10 isn't that many. It'll maybe take you 20 minutes to do 10, maybe not even. But definitely allow time in there for your invites. So what inviting is it's just inviting the people that you've been talking to. You don't want to message somebody on social media and just invite them directly. I know I have better luck with doing that on Instagram. Vanessa has done it too, and she has better luck with talking to people, which she'll get into how she invites, and I'll kind of talk about how I invite, so that way you get 2 people hearing, talking about inviting. And then what I do is I just go through my conversations list of maybe the people that I talked to last week, or for me, it's like a couple months because like I didn't invite a whole lot when Aaliyah was a newborn. So I just kind of let my business hang in there, and I hit Success Club 6, but that's about all I did. So what I do is I go back and I literally check off who I've invited. And another thing to remember too is with your new conversations from last week, I'm kind of jumping back, but this is something I forgot to point out. So with your new conversations, anybody that's new, like how I said, the 6 new people that I talk to per week, you want to put beside their name kind of what you talked about. So if somebody is pregnant, like put pregnant, like due on, September 5th or something like that, that way you kind of have like a little memo. So that way when you come back to invite them and you see, oh, they're pregnant, so you probably don't want to invite them. You could maybe talk to them about the maternity workouts if you want, but it's probably not somebody that I would invite. It's somebody that I would put on my calendar to maybe invite in like late October, postpartum. So yeah, just FYI. So anyway, back to invites. So what I like to do, like I said, is number down, and then I go through the conversations who I talk to. That's birthday messages, and then that's also the new people. So when I go through and I invite, I'm usually going to their profile. So I am going to share my screen with you. So, oops, I didn't mean to hit that. Okay, stupid Facebook ads. Okay, so I'm actually gonna type in, I'm gonna just see who pops up. So I'm actually going to go to Hannah's page. So Hannah's already a coach. Um, she's a newer coach as well. So she's been in this training as well. So anyway, what I would go and I'd look at her page if I was going to come and invite Hannah. Let's say I'm going to invite Hannah today. She was on my list. So I'm going to look through her page and I see that her little guy, he's like getting down and dirty in his little tractor, just kind of see what's going on in her life. She shared a picture of me, so obviously I would see that she's probably a coach already, but I see that she's a mom first, and I would just say, hey, like, how have you been? Like, how's your little guy? I saw his cute John Deere tractor. That's so cute. Like, where did you get it? Just something like a small talk. It doesn't have to be anything like huge, like you just want a couple sentences of kind of seeing how they've been doing. Then you want to put the invite in and you want to say, hey, I don't know if you saw it, but I've been really working hard on my health and fitness journey. For me, it's my postpartum journey. And I, really think that you'd be an awesome addition to our group and our accountability group. You could even say our Country Strong Fit Club, because that's what our group is called. For you have your own private group, like I don't know what Vanessa is calling her private group, but yeah, I just, naming your group so that way it doesn't sound like just another group. And then say, hey, what are your health and fitness goals? Or you want to join us, or something short and sweet like that. Let me see if I can find a message. Okay, this is one that I sent today. I think somewhere here it is. So it was a little while back. Okay, so I asked her.
Hi. Tiffany just posted saying that she's in the waiting room.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I have to stop the share possibly. I think I do. Do I have to stop the share, Vanessa, to add her, since you guys do this?
I don't think so. I think you can hover at the bottom, and just click on participants.
Participants.
But maybe not.
Enable waiting room. Let's see. I'm not seeing it. Okay.
Or is it in the chat?
Oh, there it is. There she is. Okay, admit. Okay, there we go. All right. So this is kind of what I said to Emily. I just said, hey, how are you guys doing? How's planting going? And then I said, I don't know if you saw it, but I've been trying to work on my mom bod goals. It's been really hard, but worth it. We have a really fun group of ladies. Just wanted to see if you want to join us. A couple of tips is what I like to do, because we've all been invited icky, spammy ways, is I always like to say, are you want to be a part of, like want to be a part of this group, versus are you interested in joining us? Like interested to me just sounds like salesy. So I would say, would you want to be a part of? Or have you considered, different words of inviting versus saying like, does this interest you? Like, I don't know, to me that just sounds icky. Also, another thing is to kind of connect with them first. So kind of seeing like what they've been up to first before sending that invite. And then also talking about, I say ladies and mommies, because I'm a mom now, but also because we do have moms in our group. Because a lot of, even when I was pregnant, I would still get a lot of moms that would say, oh, just wait till you have the baby. You're not going to have time to work out. I was like, people, I will still be working out. So I say ladies and mommies because that's true. Like in Country Strong, we do have ladies and mommies, so that way they know that. And then also that way non-mommies know that we have, it's not mommies too in there. So a mix of everybody. You could also ask if I just wanted to see if you wanted to work on any health or fitness goals with us. You can word it different. But make it sound like you. Like, I do not care if you guys copy this word for word on what you're saying or take a screenshot of it or whatever, but just make sure that you put it into your own words. So that way it sounds like it's coming from you and not somebody else. And like I said, you can even pop in there like, hey, have you ever thought about being a part of our Country Strong Fit Club? or something like that. Pop in your accountability group, whatever you want to put in there. So yeah, that is kind of inviting for Facebook. So for Instagram, what I like to do, I'm going to stop my share. So Instagram, what I like to do is I also have a notebook system. I only keep track of the people that follow me back. So the people that don't unfollow or don't follow you back, you can always check in with them and keep a list of it on your phone or in another notebook, however you want to do that. Don't use the cleaner apps though. You'll get blocked from Instagram. Vanessa, happened to her. It also happened to another friend that she did the following for you win a prize or whatever, from boutiques or whatever. And then she went in and followed all the people that she was going to unfollow, and Instagram blocked her. So don't unfollow a ton of people from Instagram. So what you want to do is just kind of see, I always scroll through my news feed, and when I see somebody, I'm like, oh, I'm going to click on her. Does she follow me? Nope, I'm going to unfollow. Does she follow me? Oh, yep, she does. So I'll keep following her. So that's kind of the process that I use. It kind of is not the best, but it's the best one that I've come up with so far. I have 5,700 followers, and I'm following close to almost 3,000 people. So my ratio isn't the best, but I'm still following, more people are following me than who I'm following. And that's what you want. You want more people to be following you. You don't want to follow 10,000 people and only have 500 people following you. That would look kind of bad. So what I do is I always keep track of who follows me. And then I just send them a message it's just very generic. I'll literally just read it right to you guys. Let's see, where is it? I have it in my notes section here. So this is something, if you have an Apple phone, you know that you have a notes section with your phone. I'm sure with Android you do too. And you can keep a ton of things in there. I keep the videos in there that I send to people, keep all of that. So I just say, thank you so much for following me. I appreciate it. My husband and I farm and ranch in North Dakota, and we recently welcomed our little farm chick. Where are you from? And then I say something like this. I don't know if you saw, but I love helping women start on their health and fitness journey. We have an awesome group of ladies and mommies. Have you ever thought about being a part of my health and fitness accountability group? It would be so fun to have you join us. That's exactly what I say, word for word, of what I copy and paste. And that's just generic. And then I'll say hey, Samantha, or whatever, their name in there. Because I feel and then, look through their profile, a few of their pictures, comment on their pictures before you send that message. But what if you don't follow them back? If you don't follow them back, if they just follow you, send them that message anyway and just see what they say. Most likely if you don't follow them back, if they followed you, you don't always have to follow them back. Not all the time I do, because it might be another coach. It might be somebody else who has bought. So you don't always have to follow them back, and don't feel pressure to hit the follow button, unless they have a public profile and you can kind of see what they're about first. Maybe like I said, maybe you'll see that they're a coach. Why follow them back? You don't want your whole newsfeed filled up with other coaches. So yeah, that's kind of about Instagram inviting. I will let Vanessa take it from here because I heard Aaliyah. I think she's up, so I got to go grab her.
All right, so mine is very similar to Alicia's because obviously I learned from Alicia. But like Alicia said, she's had a little bit more luck cold messaging or just messaging people and inviting them, where I have really had to focus on building a relationship with people, because if I don't build a relationship with people, a lot of times I just get ghosted. And they're just like, who's this random girl that's messaging me? I don't really know her that well, and I get ghosted. So last spring, I think it was, I sat down with Alicia and Lisa Hansen, and we talked about the focus on building connections with people. And I've been working on that and making sure that I always make sure that I feel like I have a good connection with the person, they could be a friend of mine before I send that invite. So what I've been trying to work on is finding a way to balance that and keep things organized, because sometimes it gets confusing who you're talking to. And I used to do the big notebook, like Alicia just told you. But the past couple months, I decided to do something a little bit different. I was cleaning through a spare bedroom and I found these little smaller notebooks that I feel are working pretty well for me. So I haven't really separated my Instagram and Facebook invites. I pretty much have them all in one place. I'll just make a little note if I'm on Facebook, but I do most of my business off of Instagram. That's just kind of where my focus is. I feel like my warm market is on Facebook. It's a lot of people that I know from college and school and back home and just life. So that's more my warm market, that I don't have to spend like as much time building connections. Like I can just pick up kind of where I left off with them. But Instagram is where I'm really focusing my connections. So I actually have like a little notebook, and I like the way this one's organized. It has like inspirational quotes, which I love, motivational quotes, but it kind of has two sections with like a little divided area. So what I do is I make sure that my new connections go on this side, and I think it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's 12. So I like, especially with just like in the summer, I'll probably start like connecting with more people and doing more. But sometimes during the school year, I just have to do what I have to get done because I'm working full time and teacher life is busy. So I focus on trying to make like 12 brand new connections a day. And when I like, how I do that is I just basically follow people that look like they could be a friend of mine in real life. So when I'm just like on Instagram, I might go to like a boutique that I really, really like, or something that interests me. And I begin looking at the people who liked, and especially the people who commented, because I feel like the people that are commenting our posts are like pretty active on Instagram. So those are like the people that I like to follow. And then once I follow them, I will simply write their name underneath a heading that says like new connections, and I'll just write down like their Instagram handle. And then what I do is I go to their profile and I try to do like 3 likes on pictures or something that stands out to me, something that I'm genuinely interested in. I like 3 of their photos, and most of the time I comment on 3 of those 2, the ones that I like. I try to comment on them and try to make it a comment that like sparks conversation. So like if you notice they have like super cute shoes, like you could just say super cute shoes. But if you really want to build like a conversation with them and get to know them, you're going to want to say like super cute shoes, where did you get them? And then most of the time, then that will catch their attention and they'll start, carrying on a conversation with you. And most of the time when I'm like having conversations, those people follow me back. And when they follow me back, I simply put a check mark by their name. And you can see from that day, I just had 1 person that did not follow me back. And that was over the course of like, I go back throughout the week and go back and find these people when it says that they followed you and check them off. It doesn't always happen in one day. But then I want to make sure that I'm not losing track of the connections that I've been building with people. And so I make sure that I write theirs, and I don't have a ton on that day, but I write them on that side. And sometimes I fill out like over the weekends, I like to spend a lot of time doing connections. So like this past weekend, I filled out like a couple pages of just old connections. And my favorite way to make connections with people that I've already, kind of established a relationship with is Instagram stories, because it's so easy just to kind of click on their story, and you don't have to watch every single clip, just watch a few of them, find something to comment on, and it gets you in their inbox. So then when you go to invite them later, they can look back and be like, oh yeah, I remember that's that girl. We had a conversation about my pet cat, or we had a conversation about something that I did in my classroom, and you don't just look like a random stranger inviting them to join your accountability group. So that's been my focus really this past year, is just trying to find a way to keep track of my connections. And I feel like it's been going pretty well. So I try to do that like every single day of the week, like Monday through Friday, writing down those 12 new connections, and then just kind of going back. I don't always track every single old connection when I'm going back to some of those same people. Because otherwise you just probably run out of space. And sometimes it's just a quick little comment that you'll put on their post. And then over the weekend, I like to go back. So this notebook I started here in May. So like over the past weekend, I just kind of flipped through and just looked up some of these people to make sure that I didn't just like, 3 of their posts and comment and then just drop off the face of the earth. I went back and kind of checked in on these people to see if they had posted anything new, or maybe they had a story. And I do most of my invites Monday through Friday. And then on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I focus on those connections and making sure I kind of go back and find some of these people, because these people I'm connecting with in May are probably the people that I'm going to be sending invites to in June, because I built that relationship. I feel comfortable talking to them, and hopefully built some type of a friendship, and they can tell that I'm a genuine person who cares. And so then in June, I basically just do the same thing like Alicia. I try to like make sure that I know who I'm talking to. So if it's like a teacher, I'm going to kind of gear my post a little bit more towards them. So like, here's an example of something I sent to a teacher. I said, hey girl, how are you doing during all this craziness? Most of the time I do try to add their name in there, like Alicia said, because I feel like it makes it more personal, not just like a copy and paste, you know? So, but this time I did say, hey girl. So I said, hey girl, how are you doing during all this craziness? Are you virtual teaching too? If, you know, obviously if you've been having conversations about virtual teaching, you wouldn't ask them that. But if they haven't posted about it, then, you know, it's a conversation starter. And then I just like, I start a new paragraph and say, I just wanted to invite you to my health and fitness accountability group. It is legit so much fun, and the workouts have been keeping me sane. It helps boost my quarantine mood, deal with the stress of online teaching, and helps keep me active. Would you be open to receiving more information? I'd love to have you in the group. And a lot of times I feel like I kind of learned that when we went to our summit event to ask like, are you open to receiving more information? Because like Alicia said, when you say, are you interested? People feel like that's like a yes or a no, or receiving more information can kind of be like, yeah, sure, tell me more. And then a lot of times people will be like, sure, you can send me some more info, and then I'll just continue the conversation with them. Obviously that wouldn't work with like everybody. So like, here's a girl that's like a farm wife. And I said like, hey girl, how are you doing during all this craziness? I see your husband is busy putting the crops in. I'm sure you are busy too. Are you homeschooling your kids right now? And then I put homeschooling in parentheses because she's not a typical homeschool mom, but I know she has kids at home. I said, I just wanted to invite you to my health and fitness accountability group. It is legit so much fun, and the workouts have been keeping me sane. We have so many farm wives and country girls in the group. You would fit right in. Would you be open to receiving more information? I'd love to have you in the group. So I just kind of tailor it to whoever I'm talking to, kind of like what Alicia said. And then basically on Facebook, I do the same thing. But like I said, most of my focus right now has just been on Instagram. I do not have my follower ratio down because I used to use the unfollow app, which I thought was awesome because it would just go through and tell you who didn't follow you, and you would click a button and you would just automatically unfollow. And that has been something that I've been trying to figure out. Like, I haven't went back and unfollowed anyone in May, but I'm guessing that what I'll need to do is when June rolls around, I'll have to go back and like the people that don't have checks by their names, I'll have to go and unfollow manually so I don't get like blocked by Instagram, because I literally got locked out for an entire week and I couldn't like, comment, add, or do anything. It's like Instagram jail. So but yeah, my ratio isn't great. Like I have 1,370 followers and I'm following 2,000. So obviously I need to go through and clean it up. And Alicia gave a good tip for that, like just kind of going through and seeing like, you know, who followed you. I know there's also like an area where you can go like in your settings where you can look at like followers or whatever. You can just kind of click. And basically if you click on who they're following, so if it says like following, if they're following you, your name's like at the top. So it's not like you have to scroll through or ABC order or anything. It'll be at the top. If it's not there, then basically just unfollow, you know, because they're not seeing your posts. They're not, you know, interacting with you. So.
Yeah, that's awesome, Vanessa. Thank you. I learned too, like what you said from Summit. Like I kind of forgot that they said like, are you open to more info? Like I love that. I'm definitely gonna start using that too because that's awesome. Because sometimes like even if you say like, would you want to join us? Yeah, it's like a yes or a no. You know, they think like yes, that's really awesome. So another good way too about inviting is I let Aaliyah play with highlighters. So we'll see. Hopefully she doesn't have them all over her face. But another way to invite, like we were talking, is direct message invite of people you've been talking to, but also it's people who have been watching your stories too. So Facebook stories, nobody can see that. Like you can't even like see who sees your Facebook stories. Plus, like who even watches Facebook stories. It's very rare that I will actually click and watch them. But with your Insta stories, a lot of people go in and watch them. So make sure that your Instagram is a business account first. So you make sure that it's in your settings, you just switch it over. It's super easy to do. And you can say that you're like a public figure. That's usually what I think I said I'm a public figure. Also having like your Instagram bio, like, you know, Vanessa, teacher, cat mom, you know, whatever that you want to put in there, you know, just kind of more about like what you're posting. Cause I think like when people see that bio, you know, they're going to be like, oh, okay, like I can relate to her. Like I'm a cat mom and a teacher too, you know, or whatever that, you know, people will see that and expect those types of posts. So have something in your bio. Some people say, like, don't say, come out and be like, beach body coach, because that's like, like sales, like people are going to be like, unfollow, so you might want to say like a life changer, or, I'm a farm fashion and fitness influencer, so people might see that and they're like, oh, cool. Like I'm from a farm too. Like I'll follow her. Um, so yeah, don't say beach body coach even in your Facebook profile. Keep that off there. Keep that a secret, because people see that and they're like, no, unfriend. Because they instantly think that you're going to try to sell them something. And yeah, I mean, this business is about sales, but we want to try and change people's lives. And change their outlook on life, like how it's changed ours, right? So like I said, stories are a great way to invite, direct invites, like people that you've already had a conversation with, or directly on Instagram. Like I said, like I'm more the person who follows me. I can reach out to them because I feel like I have built up that following, and I do post on my stories quite often. Where Vanessa, like she needs to connect with them, to be able to do that. So that's still, either way is awesome. And then the last way is through your posts. So one thing that, I mean, we all do this, Vanessa does this, I do this too, is how you're posting. So like we talked earlier is, doing like one post a day. When I was a new coach, it was 3 to 5. Like one post a day might sound like a lot. And there's days where I don't even post, like, I mean, I'll be honest, there's maybe even a couple days where I don't post, or 3 days goes by that I don't post. But usually my goal is to try to post every day, something. And so even if it's like just Insta stories, I'm on that day, that's fine. And maybe no like actual physical post. But my goal is to do Insta stories and post. At least, I would say at least 5 to 10 Insta stories. Some can be of your workout, like we talked, kind of, more about your life, and posts. So when you are posting, like we talked in earlier videos, so like Tiffany has seen this, but Morgan has not. So make sure you go back and watch this. She's probably like, oh my gosh, like this makes no sense at all. But when you're posting, like we talked, when you're posting to either our accountability groups, so like transformations, or you're posting for the business opportunity, you can go back and invite to those, because some of those people who are liking and commenting on that stuff are maybe too scared to reach out to you and be like, oh, what is it that you do? Or what is this group that you're talking about? So make sure that you go back and invite those people that are commenting on those posts, or even like when your new coach post is, that's why we say, go back and invite those people on your new coach post when you do that, because it's, those people might be too scared to reach out, or maybe they've been scammed before by other people and they didn't get good results or whatever. So just go back and invite those people. So those are ways to like still invite people. Like I said, we do it. So it's the Insta stories, it's direct message, and it's through your posts. And that's why I always say, like, set up your month. So that way the first half of your month, so the first 15 days are more geared toward challenge group invites and getting people results. And then the last 15 days are geared more towards the coaching opportunity and the business opportunity. So that means with posting, with Insta stories, with kind of how you're running your business, because truly the game changer in this business is getting coaches who coach. And that's what you want. That's how you want to be able to, push your business ahead. Yeah, discount coaches are amazing. Like I would not be where I am today without all my discount coaches. But at the same time, you want people that are pushing with you and going to be in the long run and seeing the long-term vision and going, the distance with you. And Vanessa for me is one of those people. Like, I mean, she's been in this for a long, long time. And I mean, she's a lifer. Like you want to find more lifers like me, like Vanessa. You want people who are getting their Shakeology every month and not quitting. Those are great people to look out for, like in your challenge group, too, that are like posting, that are showing up. Like don't ask somebody to coach if you don't see them in your group. You might not, maybe they will be a great coach, but you just, if they have interest and show interest in coaching and they're not even showing up in your group, they're most likely not going to do much for you. I mean, we had a girl that started this business or this training with us, and I was kind of nervous because she wanted to coach, and I was like, okay, well, get you started. But I messaged her, I was like, hey, how's your post coming? She didn't even respond back. Totally like just I don't even know what happened. But so I was like, okay, but she had never even posted in our accountability group. So that kind of shows you like it is true. Like the people that are posting and are like putting in the work and doing the workouts and drinking their shake are the ones that like your lifers that are going to be with you for the long run. And that's what you want in this business. Vanessa, do you want to have anything else to say? Or?
No, I pretty much agree with everything that you just said. The only thing that I noticed was when you were talking about like the business profile on Instagram, I actually had problems with my account because I would have to post separately. It wouldn't connect with my personal Facebook page with my business account. So I don't have a business account or a personal account. I think I have like a public figure account. It's called, I couldn't figure out what it was because I tried going back and looking, but like now my profile says like make a business account or make a whatever it's called, a personal account, but like I still get like the insights and everything you do on a business account, but it wasn't letting me, like it would take double the time because whatever, I would have to save my Insta story and then post it also on Facebook. So I don't know what was going on with that. And then I couldn't post like music or anything too. Like it
That
was
is
weird.
so weird. I know for the longest time, like some people were having problems with their music and stuff on there. But
Yeah.
definitely do that. Hook up or like link your accounts because like Vanessa said, like there's no reason that you have to post both places. Like for my Instagram, I just have it linked to my Fit Farmer's Wife page. So it links there and my stories go there instead of my personal page. But then for my personal page on like my posts, I just copy and paste that post over, to my personal page from Instagram. So that's really helpful and just quick and easy. So that's the only copy and paste that I really do.
Yeah, because like for the longest time, I only focused on Instagram and not Facebook. And that was kind of a mistake because like I said, my focus is on Instagram. But if you're going through the work to put content on Instagram, you might as well be posting on your Facebook too. So I kind of wish I would have done that at the beginning, but it took me just a little bit to build my confidence up there.
It is. And like you definitely want to be posting on both. Like because I have totally different followers on Instagram than I do Facebook. Yeah, some are duplicates of both, and it gets kind of confusing because everybody has different names on Instagram or whatever. But I think that it is important to do both because you're totally missing out on opportunity if you're just doing Facebook or you're just doing Instagram, because really the two go hand in hand, and it's not overwhelming or anything like that. I would say, especially if you're on both already. Like if you're on Instagram and you're on Facebook, like why not? So do you guys have any questions? Tracy must have had to head off.
She said she had a school Zoom meeting because we had to have all of our last meetings today. So
do you guys have any questions, Morgan or Tiffany?
No, I don't have any questions. It's a lot. I mean, it's overwhelming. And I think for me, Facebook is a lot more overwhelming than Instagram. And I don't know why that is. But I posted my first new coach post on Instagram just because it was easier in some way. But I definitely get what you're saying about maybe I should do both. Honestly, I deleted Facebook with all this COVID stuff because my feed was just completely whatever news was the newest stuff, and it was giving me a lot more anxiety than I needed. So I just deleted my whole app. I mean, I still have Facebook, but I'm never on it. And so I guess I have to get over that and figure out how exactly I want to use Facebook.
You have to think of,
because it is so negative.
You have to think of, hey, you're the positive though, right? Yeah, there's negative, but you can be the positive. So that's one nice thing about
That's a good way of talking. Yeah.
I'll be honest, like for me, I feel like I hardly, like every once in a while I'll just kind of scroll and read, but I feel like a lot of times when I get on Facebook now, it's simply to like have conversations with people or post. Like I don't find myself like scrolling through there as much. Like, so you can just kind of overlook some of that too, and just kind of focus on like the people that are interacting with you.
And plus,
yeah, that's a good idea too.
And know too that anything new that you do is overwhelming, whether like even as kids, like I always say the riding bike situation, like when we were kids, like riding bike seemed so hard, right? Without your training wheels, like the minute you took those training wheels off, you're like, whoa, like what am I doing? And you wanted to quit, maybe you fell down, but it's about getting back up and keep going with it, and now like riding bike is easy, right? Like hopefully we can all ride bike pretty decently. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of the same with anything. Like anything new that you do is going to be like overwhelming and crazy, but it just takes that time. And
Yeah.
none of our, as Vanessa and I, you know, are more seasoned coaches, and our new conversations and like talking with people, it was awful. Like even our new posts, you know, as new coaches, we look back, we're like, what were we doing? Like, you know, but you just learn and grow into that person who you're going to become, you know, with personal development and everything, with more training and stuff, and it gets easier.
Yeah, that helps. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Just take a deep breath too.
Yeah.
We probably rattle too much. I talk fast.
No, you're good. Everybody always says I talk fast too, so who knows?
Tiffany, did you have any questions or anything?
No, I didn't really have any questions. I don't have Instagram, so do you think like just Facebook alone will be enough, or should I try to get Instagram back?
I would definitely try to. She fell and hit her head on my chair.
Oh no. I can hop on. I would say try to get Instagram, because Instagram, that's where I have like a lot more fun. Like I'm still on Facebook and I'm still like inviting people on Facebook, but Instagram I feel like is kind of where it's at. And it's kind of fun because I feel like you can connect with people. So like I'm a teacher, so I have found so many teachers, and like I just have something in common with them, or like farm wives, and you can find like people through hashtags, where Facebook, they don't use hashtags as much. So it's really fun to just like put your post with a bunch of hashtags and then see what people you can connect with and get to know people that you don't like already know. Like I have friends like from the East Coast that are teacher friends that we talk all the time. Like one girl's like, I knew you would comment on my story. Like kind of type stuff like that, you know, where we probably went to met just through Facebook and like searching friends and mutual friends. So I don't know. I like Instagram, but.
Perfect. I'll look into getting it back then, because I just haven't had it for years. So I didn't even think about like trying that way to get other people that I'm not friends with on Facebook.
Yeah, and for me, I feel like people are a lot more open on Instagram. So like they might not know you, but they'll still follow you and get to know you. Where on Facebook, it's like, do I know you? I'm not adding you back, at least to me anyways. Right. Instagram, I feel like people are more willing to connect, so which is fun.
Yep, exactly. I feel the same way. So I'll definitely get that back.
All right. Oh man. Poor girl. Well, thanks for hopping on, you guys. We just have like a minute left.